Is HTML a programming language? This is a question which is often asked in interviews, and a web developer is expected to know the difference between a programming language and a markup language. So HTML is not a programming language. It's a markup language, right? It's quite important for us to understand what a markup language is. So friends, if you see any document, any essay, any piece of text, so this is just one unformatted bit of text, right? And with just a bit of marking, with just a bit of formatting, with just a bit of structure, we can give this exact same text a different look, right? So we took a marker and did a bit of marking, divided it into a bit of paragraphs, gave it a bit of, style, something like that. This is the work of markup language. We didn't do any programming. We didn't do any, logic which executed somewhere else. No. Just plain marking. A very good example of this is WhatsApp. WhatsApp uses a markup language called Markdown. HTML is not the only markup language available, right? So there are other markup languages like XML, Markdown, BPML, FPML, and lots of them. And what WhatsApp uses is called Markdown. Let's explore this. It would be fun. So again, I have the same piece of text here in WhatsApp. Now, if I want to make these atomic habits bold, strong, I want to strongly emphasize it. How would I do that? In Markdown, we use asterisk or star sign to do that. So as soon as I surrounded atomic habits by 2 stars or 2 asterisks, the format changed. What if I want to emphasize James Clear, but I don't want to strongly emphasize like this, but I want to just emphasize, maybe make it italics. How do I do that? Again, I surround it with 2 underscores and we see that it gets a format. Easy, right? So this is markup language. There is no logic going on. There is no, a big loop or something going on, right? Just presentational, just giving a structure to our text, right, to our content. So again, a couple of things to notice here by this very simple example is there is some text or something to which we want to apply certain format. We want to show them in a certain format. We start it with something, we end it with something. Right? So these are basically tags in Markdown language, right? So there is a start tag, there is an end tag, and it gives a certain format. There is a start tag, there is an end tag, and this start and end tag together give certain format to James Clear. Now let's see this exact thing in HTML. This is the very first time many of you would be looking at tags, right? So it might be a bit confusing. Don't worry. We will get ample of practice before we move ahead, and we will cover all the tags of HTML. So friends, those were tags of Markdown language, right? In web, one of the building blocks is HTML, and HTML has its own set of tags. बहुत सारे, there are lots of tags. It has its own set of tags. Now what you see on the screen is an online coding playground called CodePen. There are lots of online coding platforms like CodePen, Code Sandbox, and lots more. Just Google it and you'll find lots of them. So what you see here is in the left hand side, we are writing some HTML. And CodePen in real time, it's showing me how a browser would render it. So again, what happens is when you make any request, suppose I go to www.google.com. So when I do that, and we will see how web works in in great depth. I don't want to spend too much time on theory before we move to coding. We will see how web works in a lot of depth. But for now, when I made a request to google.com, the computer of Google, a remote computer which is connected to the web, it gave me back some HTML file which browser shows here. Don't worry about it. Just a little bit of hint. So basically someone wrote some HTML file which our browser displays in a certain way. So a developer writes some HTML file and a browser shows it in a certain way. And it can be very different from what you see here, right? So you write something here, browser shows it in a certain way. So one very big difference you will see, friends, immediately is that here we have, suppose, the importance of physical exercise. Just an example, right? Or here if we go, introduction to HTML tags, right? So here we have a couple of spaces if you see, right? But HTML just shows one space, nothing more than that. Here we have a new line, here we have a new line, but still, HTML just shows one space. This means that HTML, when browser renders or displays our HTML code, it ignores all the white space. All the extra white space is ignored. Cool? Now coming back to tags. So if I want to, strongly emphasize on building blocks, how do I do that? One thing we understand, we need to wrap it with two tags, with a starting tag, with an end tag, right? We need to do that. And HTML has its own set of tags, right? So the tag we use to make this piece of text strong is called strong tag. So it's a strong tag. So now, if I just type strong here, it is assumed like any other text, right? The browser does not understand if strong is a text or strong is one of the tags. So all the tags in HTML are wrapped by a less than sign and a greater than sign, or when something, all the tags. So when I say that strong tag, this entire thing is a strong tag. It starts with an angle bracket, strong word, keyword, and then the closing angle bracket. So this entire thing is a strong tag. Now friends, we see that as I started the strong tag here, don't worry about these warnings that CodePen is giving. Everything after the strong tag is strong now. So from building blocks to the content, everything is strong. Can you guess why? Because we have started the tag, we have not ended it anywhere, right? So we need to end it. So let's see how to end it. And friends, this is it, right? If you understand this much, you understand most of the HTML. Okay, so if it sounds a little bit confusing for people who are writing HTML for the first time, it's completely fine. Okay, now I write strong again here, but it does not have any impact. It's not how exactly Markdown works, right? In HTML, you start a tag normally like this, but when you end a tag, you put a forward slash. The slash that is besides the shift key in the right hand side, right? And now we see that only building blocks is strong. It is strongly emphasized for us. Browser is understanding that we are marking these building blocks as strong. Are you getting it, friends? So again, every markup language has its own set of tags. HTML also has its own set of tags. So we will see how to find them. For now, I just want to teach you 4 tags. We will practice them and then we will move ahead. Okay? So this is strong tag. Let's make some other piece of text strong. So for example, features. right? Or strong. If I want to make this strong word strong, how would I do that? I need to wrap it up with strong tag, the starting strong tag, and the end strong tag. So I wrapped up strong word with a start strong tag and with an end strong tag, and browser now knows that we have marked this piece of text as strong. For emphasized tag, and these are very much readable, it makes a lot of sense, right? These are very semantic. It has meaning. So for example, if I want to make this extended paragraph a bit emphasized, how do I do that? For that we have em tag or emphasize tag. So here I have em tag. This is the starting tag. I need to end it. So I will end it here using a forward slash. Now you will see, friends, that this extended paragraph text is italicized here by the browser. Are you getting it? Let's make another thing italicized. So for example, if I want to make this greater weight italicized, what I'll do is I'll start this bit of text which I want to emphasize with the start em tag, and we now understand that we need to end it this way. In this way, the browser knows that whatever is in between the start em tag and the end em tag, that needs to be emphasized. Lovely, right? So we have already learned two very important HTML tags, and we will certainly go into depth of it. But for now, in order to make any piece of text strong, we use the start strong tag and the end strong tag. Second thing, if we want to make any piece of text emphasized, we start it with the start emphasized em tag and end em tag. We denote end of a tag using forward slash. First thing that we learned actually today is that HTML does not care the white space. It ignores all the extra white space. Now I want these paragraph, friends. I want to my users, this is plain HTML, right? Simple. This is the piece of code that we are writing. But I also want our users to be able to see paragraphs. How do I do that? For that, again, we have a tag. And again, the same theory. We need to wrap this paragraph with a start p tag and an end p tag. So this is how we do this. So we start it with a p tag. We end this paragraph with a p tag. And you will see that now we have a nice paragraph. Browser knows that, we want to structure this bit of content like a paragraph. Friends, we can do the same thing, and I'll just copy paste to make things quick. So this is the p tag starting there, and this is the p tag ending there. So now we have 3 nice paragraphs displayed to the users. Making sense? Last tag that we want to listen is we want to make it a heading. And there can be several headings, right? Heading 1, heading 2, subheadings, and all of those. I want to make it heading 1, like the very important heading. So for that, again, we have a tag called h1 tag. So we will, again, what do we do? What's the next step? We need to end this h1 tag, right? So we do it this way, forward slash, and then h1 tag. Lovely. Right? Our text is looking so much more better, and in the process we learned about the markdown, the concept of marking, and in HTML we learned 4 tags. First, we learned this about strong tag, then we learned about the emphasis em tag, then we learned about the paragraph tag, then we learned about h1 tag. Now friends, how to feel confident about these? How to like literally know that you got it. You have to practice it. And in the notes that I am providing to you, you will see we have a code pen for you for practice. So I'll highly recommend that before you move ahead, friends, just play around. Make it a heading 1. Make it a paragraph. So there should be 3 paragraphs, and make some random words inside it, either strong or emphasized. Strong or emphasized. Some random words, strong or emphasized. If you do this, friends, you will feel really nice. You will really gain some extra confidence before we move ahead.